So if everyone could please rise to pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. I would like to now call on Joey Giordano, Governor-elect, for our invocation.
Let us all bow our heads. Maker of us all, in a world of uncertainty, let Kiwanis be the light that leads the way. Let us reaffirm our commitment as members of this great organization, that we are dedicated to serving the children of the world and making our communities a better place for all. May we always willingly share our blessings with those who need it the most. As Kiwanians, we are the helpers in our communities. Let us unite in making our communities stronger and our bond with service even greater. Amen. I now would like to call back, I would now like to call up International Trustee Designate Michael Mulhall for the introduction of the Governor.
Thank you very much, Governor-elect Joey. I'll just take a couple of minutes. I really want to thank everybody for the support of my campaign, support and friendship. I would be remiss if I didn't highlight the committee, who's just wonderful. Karen Gajeski, Danielle Samet, Martin Slezak. They were both doing a great job with potentially doing a Facebook, which as the campaign went into a council, we didn't end up going in that direction, but Governor Gordon Meth, Bill Siemens, Joe Teddy, Joe Schmeltz, Carol Tizzy, Susan and Greg Elbin, Frank Cahill, Casey Pariah, Nick Limanoff, Michael Ellithorpe, Jerry Adelson, Nancy Hart Esposito, and Mark Litwack, who does an excellent job, and the many individuals and clubs that made donations individually and or as a club to my campaign. And a special thanks to Lansing City and Ed Hutchinson, who both represented New Jersey, both dedicated Kiwanis leaders who gave their very best to help Kiwanis advance and succeed. As you know, it was initially going to be a convention, and then it converted to a council. And just a brief comment on the council is through 3 years in World War II, when they were unable to have a convention. And that's when they developed the council procedure, whereby current governors get to vote, current trustees, which is mostly the current board, and all past international presidents. They are the ones that make the vote. Chuck Fletcher from Kentucky, Tennessee won, along with myself and Kip Crane, who is going to be counseling our district. And one last comment, after we get elected, they immediately give you 3 districts to counsel. Mine were Illinois, Eastern Iowa, New York, Wisconsin, Upper Michigan, which have been extremely busy because the last 3 weekends they've all had theirs. And Illinois, Eastern Iowa will be having the second half of theirs tomorrow afternoon. So thank you very kindly to everybody. And I'd like to now introduce our governor, Gordon Meth, who's been a great friend and a great governor for the district. So thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Michael. I'd actually like to start with a video. So Emily, I'm going to be bumping your screen share again. Sorry about that.
Kids need Kiwanis. We say it all the time. And if you look at the world, you know that it's true. About 15,000 children die from preventable causes every day. More than 265 million kids do not attend school. 80% of the world's children need more opportunities for active play. And nearly half of all children's deaths are caused from malnutrition. Kids need us. Which is why Kiwanis created the Kiwanis Children's Fund. It gives clubs from across the world the ability to work as one to address local and global needs. Together, we have decreased the infant mortality rate of children around the globe and have empowered thousands of children, young adults, and adults with disabilities to serve and lead in their schools and communities. Together, we've provided vital nutrients so millions of children can reach their full potential without fear of irreversible brain damage. And together, we have given 19 million hours of service in 1 year to make the lives of children brighter and more secure. When funding and passion come together, anything is possible. Because until we have a club in every community to meet children's needs, we have an entire organization that can rise together to fill them.
Okay, so here I am, your governor a second time. And what I will tell you is being governor a second time is a bit like riding a bicycle, except somewhere along the way, the bicycle caught fire. This has been a year of change in many respects. I will tell you that, though, so 6 months ago, our district was one of the hardest hit districts, first and one of the hardest hit districts for COVID. And we were all told to basically stop meeting and doing things in person. Schools closed and went virtual. Everything went virtual. And we didn't know how long it was going to last. But panic and alarm are exhausting. So we basically had to adapt and start proceeding anyway and finding a way around this. And I'm pleased to say that most clubs are now actually meeting virtually and coming up with virtual service projects. In the time between being governors, I spent a lot of time either helping rebuilding clubs and their membership from the ground up or building new clubs. Part of that taught me that one thing, when you talk to people about Kiwanis, a lot of people have never heard of Kiwanis. Or if they have, they only know it a little bit in passing. They don't really understand it. But once they actually research it and find out what we do and what we're about, they want in. A lot of them do. And I'm pleased to say that so far this year, we have actually brought in over 250 new members into Kiwanis between the new clubs we've opened and existing clubs. 3/4 of our clubs have added members this year. That is big. That is a big deal. And we're averaging, we on average, our existing clubs have added 2.5 members, which is about one more than the average has been over the last several years. That is making a big difference. It's making a big impact. I will also tell you that we're starting to find there's opportunities within our new world and our new reality. Number one, we have a lot of people in New Jersey who basically used to just live and sleep in towns, and now they're working from home. But think about half the workforce is working from home right now. So they're rediscovering their towns. And they're also finding they have a lot more time available because their commutes aren't going on. So with that, I think there's a whole lot more opportunity for new Kiwanians. One of the demographics that's ripe for us, more than half the new members we brought in have been from Gen X. They're 40 to 55, starting to find they have free time. And a lot of people with this pandemic have been questioning what they do in life and want to give back and do service. Gen X, according to a survey a few years ago, actually has the highest participation rate in volunteering of every generation, 36%. Although baby boomers do put in the most hours. Some of the things that we've accomplished this year have been huge. We're on the verge of opening a 5th club in Asbury Park after opening 4 other clubs. We've also opened 14 reactivated 14 Key clubs, Circle Ks, Action clubs, and K Kids clubs. That's big, and there's at least a dozen more that were in process that we're having discussions about at various stages. We've done a lot in this district. In terms of response to the pandemic, between the Kiwanis Foundation and about 15 clubs that put in their reports, we've put in about $70,000 into relief for the pandemic. Most of it in terms of food and food substance. We've really come together. We're doing service, and things look good for the future. With that, so actually I'd like to welcome back Michael Mohall to give an update from the foundation.
Okay, there we go. Thank you, Governor Gordon. Just a brief comment on the update on the foundation. As you know, we asked consideration of a $20 donation for the foundation. And I'm very proud to say, as of this morning, we've raised $2,425, which is just tremendous numbers. And one brief comment, at the last board meeting, we approved $6,000 for the food banks throughout the state, 1,000 to each. This is on top of the 6,000 that we've already allocated, which is amazing that we'd all have to focus that so much money on feeding, which is, I'm thrilled that we're able to do it. And one last brief thing, we've also allocated $4,000 up until September 22nd for clubs locally to match their funds up to $500. And it's a first come, first serve. And your club could have given it already, or will be giving it. So please consider putting in for that. Extremely worthy. So thank you very kindly. I'm now going to pass it along for comments for our New Jersey Circle K, Key Club, Sarah Jacobs, New Jersey District Key Club Governor, for comments. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you, Mr. Mulhall, for the introduction. I hope you all are having a great morning, and I am honored to be here at the 103rd New Jersey Kiwanis District Convention. My name is Sarah Jacob. I'm the 2020 to 2021 New Jersey Key Club District Governor, as well as a rising senior at Burke Memorial High School. Being in a position like District Governor has not been easy, especially during these times that we are in. We have all had to adapt to new changes and remain positive. My New Jersey Key Club District Board, which consists of 28 student leaders, has persisted through the obstacles we face, whether it be conducting virtual officer training sessions, planning digital regional training conferences, or connecting the board as a family. And specifically for the Kiwanis family, we have remained motivated to serve, and our community needs individuals willing to serve now more than ever. I've been blessed with the opportunity to see high school students collaborate with clubs to help others, and they are inspired and supported by Key Club's foundation, Kiwanis. Kiwanians believe in service. They mold student leaders. My Key Club journey would not be complete without the Kiwanians and adults who have encouraged, uplifted, and supported me. I've had the pleasure of serving the past 3 years on the New Jersey District Board. I would not be the person I am today without the adult role models that the Kiwanis Committee provided. And District Administrator Robert Achero, who I work with now as District Governor, has been with me every step of the way, always supporting me. And Kiwanis not just only supports individuals, but communities. And while Key Clubbers and I need Kiwanis, we can also support you all. Our relationship is one that can be mutually beneficial, symbiotic service. New Jersey Key Club not only can provide new perspectives to Kiwanians and Kiwanis as an organization, but return the support you all have provided us. This year is definitely one that none of us could have envisioned. While the world is in disarray, Key Clubbers have been working harder than ever. The 2020 to 2021 service year has the opportunity to be the most influential one yet, and Key Club needs Kiwanis' help. New Jersey Key Club has already devoted so much time and energy into bettering not only the district, but the way we operate. This is a year of firsts, the first year without a district convention, the first year with digitally electing district executives, the first year with digital regional training conferences, the first year with the district project Keeping the Garden State Green. With so many firsts, this service year has so much potential to think otherwise would not make sense. And that's why I encourage you all right now to get involved with Key Club. As District Governor, I have fully committed to making this service year the best year possible for not only my board members, but the entire district. However, this year will not just be the foundation for the future. It will be a pivotal year of innovation. We have engaged more members than possibly ever before, new member representatives serving on district committees, over 500 members attending our spring and summer regional training conferences, and we have utilized and cultivated our platforms, social media, and digital presence. We have done so much, but we can do so much more when we unite with Kiwanis. This is an invitation, a welcome into Key Club service year like never before. Let us collaborate and effectively provide for our communities together. When I see my district for the first time in person at District Convention 2020, I want to tell them of how much we have grown and established despite the pandemic. And I want you all to be involved. There is always something to learn from every experience, and I want you all to be in on the Key Club experience. Let's use the platforms that are available to us now. Let's be ambitious, not just resilient, and let's be a family that supports one another. I now welcome New Jersey Key Club District Administrator Robert Ochera for his remarks.
Thank you, Sarah. So good morning, everyone. As Sarah said, my name is Rob Ochera. I'm the Key Club District Administrator. The Dr. Andrew Batsis Key of Honor Award is the highest honor that can be bestowed upon any Kiwanian within the New Jersey District of Key Club International. Dr. Andrew Batsis was a longtime New Jersey Kiwanian, serving as District Administrator for Key Club, District Governor for Kiwanis, and a Kiwanis International Trustee. The New Jersey District Board named this award in his honor. Unfortunately, due to the cancellation of our district convention in March, we were unable to present our 2020 Key of Honor. We are lucky to have the opportunity to honor this special individual this morning. Past recipients of this award are Celeste Warfel, Ed Hutchinson, Anne-Marie Tarnowski, Steve Ganley, Helene Meissner, Jean Hagan, Lou Capello, Caitlin McCann, Bonnie Strum, and myself. Thank you again to all of our past recipients and their continued support of the New Jersey District of Key Club International. It gives me great honor to have with us today our immediate past Key Club District Secretary, Katrina Pham, who will be presenting this year's 2020 Key of Honor Award.
Thank you, Mr. Ochera. So while brainstorming how I was going to introduce this year's recipient of the Key of Honor Award, a lot of words crossed my mind. Dedicated, loving, compassionate, considerate, and kind, to name a few. However, I didn't want to just make a generic speech about the accomplishments, titles, and accolades that qualify this person to receive the Key of Honor Award, because then my speech would just go on forever. The best way to describe this person is to describe a feeling I associate with them. When I think about this person, I think about the times when I was young and after a long day at the park or a family friend's party, I would get in the car and just completely pass out. As the car would make that familiar turn onto my street, I would wake up and groggily make my way to my room and fall asleep on my bed. These experiences became more abundant to me as I worked through long regional training conferences and board meetings that were oftentimes an hour or 2 hours away from my home. Specifically, after an extremely late night spent rehearsing our fall rally script and a long morning setting up decorations and talking to Key Clubbers, I was exhausted. Unfortunately, my school bus to take me home was not leaving until later that night, but luckily, our Key of Honor recipient was leaving with their club and was willing to take me home as well. After getting into the car, I sank into the soft cushioned seats and I fell asleep. No sooner had my eyes closed than I began waking up to the familiar turn onto Belmont Drive right before you reach my house. Although I wasn't in my mom's Honda CRV, what was no different than the long trips in her car was the feeling of comfort and love I felt in being able to wake up safely at home. This person never failed to make me feel truly loved and supported throughout my time on the district board. Even though she stepped down from her position on the district board, she never stopped stepping up to be one of my biggest supporters. She would always send me what she simply labeled inspiration. And as her connections with more Key Clubbers on the board grew, her inspiration group grew as well, reflecting her ability to create community and family wherever she goes. It is truly my honor to present the Key of Honor Award to a person who has supported me in every step of the way of my journey before, during, and after my time as a Key Clubber. For that, I know I, along with hundreds of others, are grateful. So thank you, Ms. Navola, for making me a home away from home that will last a lifetime. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct honor to present the 2020 New Jersey Key of Honor recipient to the Milburn High School Key Club Advisor and a Livingston Kiwanis Club member, Mrs. Bridget Navola. Mr. Chair is holding up your plaque and we'll get it to you with your pin as soon as possible. Now please welcome Kyle Link, New Jersey District of Circle K Governor, for the Circle K remarks.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Katrina, for the introduction. Good morning, Governor Gordon, Governor-elect Joey, and New Jersey Kiwanis. My name is Kyle Lank, and I'm the New Jersey Circle K District Governor. Through my time in CKI, I can confidently say that Circle K International is the greatest leadership development opportunity in the world. My first service organization was the Boy Scouts. I held one leadership position during my 7 years in my troop, and I was Assistant Senior Patrol Leader. I was so proud of that position. I went home and told my parents, I told all my friends, and I wore that leadership patch so proudly on the side of my uniform. But I was fired 2 months into my term. The Scoutmaster said I was undisciplined, I was lazy, and I needed some serious character change in order to succeed in life. In high school, I played football for 4 years. While this is usually a guarantee for a captain spot your senior year, I was the only senior in the starting lineup not voted in as a captain. My coach told me I wasn't vocal enough and didn't possess the leadership ability to command a room. Now, my story is a little different than others who come into the Kiwanis family. I didn't come out of Key Club. I wasn't an established business owner or community leader. I came to Circle K as an irreverent college kid from Delaware who was always told he wasn't good enough. And when I walked into a random college hall looking for required service hours, I found an organization that met me where I was, acknowledged my flaws, and helped me grow past them. I found an organization that was so focused on not only serving our greater community, but serving each other that it inspired me to develop myself and my leadership ability well past my required service hours. And I'm not going to sit here and act like Circle K has made me a perfect man. You can ask my ex-girlfriend. I'm far from perfect. But it gave me the courage to talk to you today. It gave me the chance to help my fellow college students grow as I have, and it gave me the opportunity to learn about life from Kiwanians. Despite our obstacles, New Jersey CKI has had such a successful service year thus far. At our international convention, CKI Next, we won 14 different awards. Stockton University CKI won top fundraising district for WASH, our international service initiative to bring clean water to Haiti. Thank you so much to Northfield Linwood Kiwanis for their constant support of Stockton Circle K. In place of our annual Kiwanis Family Picnic, we held a Kiwanis Family live stream that raised $1,500 for our district, the most successful virtual fundraising event in our entire organization. Thank you to Governor Gordon, Governor-elect Joey G, Governor Sarah Robachera, and Jem Playa for coming out and making that such a successful event. And most excitedly, we've been working hard to improve our relationship with Kiwanis. I have personally been to 16 Kiwanis meetings since the end of May. And by the end of September, I will have been to over 20. I am so grateful for the Kiwanians who have opened their meetings to me, both in person and virtually, and taught me so much more about servant leadership. While it's important to celebrate our success, we must also acknowledge our struggles. Now, every CKI member, past and present, will talk about CKI's importance in their own lives, but its overall importance and success are being looked at by the broader organization. We recognize that there's a Kiwanis International Board Committee to evaluate Circle K's operations, and I get it. We've been losing members on the international level the past few years. I really hope that the committee can develop strategies to help our organization grow. Our members hear and see this, and we recognize that now more than ever, we must make crucial changes to save our great organization that develops so many leaders and future Kiwanians. But such a change can only happen during a pivotal and transformative year. A year where Kiwanians can't gather in person, a year where the foundation of Kiwanis itself is being pushed to its limits, a year where all of our tradition and fellowship are moved online, and a year where we must come together as a Kiwanis family to succeed. And New Jersey CKI must be at the forefront of these changes. We're committed to being the best possible member of the Kiwanis family we can be. We're committed to helping Key Club members transition to life after high school. We're committed to listening to Kiwanians and serving them as they've always served us. And we're committed to grow as an organization so we can better serve our communities and our Kiwanis clubs. But with strong commitment, however, there also must be strong refusal. We refuse to let this year prevent us from impacting the children of the world. We refuse to let our members lose sight of our organizational integrity, and we refuse to let the circumstances ruin such a crucial year for us. During his address to the Kiwanis International Council, Trustee Michael Mulhall said something that really stuck with me. He said his mantra was, we must take interest in each other and in Kiwanis. And I know Michael was talking about the success of how Kiwanis clubs can succeed, but I really believe it's how Circle K will also succeed. Circle K must take an interest in Kiwanis, so that Kiwanis can take an interest in us. But how can Kiwanians take an interest? We need Kiwanians to share their stories and perspectives. Even if you don't sponsor Circle K Club, we need to hear your stories so we can best serve you. We need to work together on service projects so we can magnify the impact in our communities. Especially now, our communities need our combined impact. And most importantly, we need to continue to build Circle K as the leadership development opportunity that it is. Because without it, myself and countless others would have never fell in love with Kiwanis. Thank you. Please welcome NJ Kiwanis Convention Chair Emily Scharf for some points of information.
Thank you, Kyle. You guys can hear me okay? Can you give me a thumbs up? Wonderful. Thank you all for taking the time to attend this VCon. Beginning at 10 a.m., we will have 2 rounds of virtual workshops, and the district council meeting will follow lunch. You will also have the opportunity to participate in some virtual service projects and spend the evening virtually socializing with many of your fellow Kiwanians. While this is not the convention I had envisioned for us all, I will do my part to make it as seamless as I can for you. Please bear in mind, this is the first time we are doing a virtual convention, so I ask for your patience should we run into any technical glitches which are bound to arise. Some general housekeeping. As you know from this session, everyone will be placed on mute and will be unmuted when recognized. Please only use one device for audio output in order to avoid feedback. Please use the hand raise function on your screen to ask a question. If you are comfortable doing so, please turn on your cameras so we can connect visually to one another, hopefully enhancing the virtual convention experience. You should have received an email which contains the schedule and all of the links needed for this weekend. Additionally, the district council meeting and the celebration of life will be broadcast via YouTube, so all who wish to attend may have access to it, whether they've registered for this convention or not. Again, the link is provided in the agenda. If you are attending this convention, you will receive a limited edition pin via the mail within the next month or so. If you should have any questions during convention, please reach out via email at njkiwanis@gmail.com and someone will get to your query as soon as possible. Please provide your phone number in the query in case we need to reach out to you via phone. A special thank you to the members of the VCon committee and the additional members in Kiwanis for helping to make this event possible. I could not have done it without you all. At the conclusion of this session, we will have some additional time, so I'll leave this session open in case anybody pops on or has any troubleshooting questions they would like me to address. You can then pop off and go to your agenda, where you'll be able to click the link to begin your workshops. Now I would like to turn the opening session of the 103rd New Jersey District of Kiwanis International Convention over to Michael Mulhall, Human and Spiritual Values Chair, for the benediction.
Actually, Michael, we're running very good on time, thanks to, in no small part, to Emily doing an amazing job of coordinating and orchestrating us all. So I think we could take the opportunity to open the floor to questions for about 10 minutes, if anyone's interested. And before we do that, I want to say one thing, and that is that our membership in New Jersey right now is the exact same as it was 2 years ago. We've actually made back 2 years of membership. So, and we have the highest membership in USA and Canada membership on a percentage basis, 12.5% growth versus about 2.3% growth on average for everybody else. So those are some amazing statistics. But with that, I'm going to open the floor for about 10 minutes for questions, just for anyone who wants to. So Rob, you're probably going to have to unmute everybody's mic or, somehow do it. Maybe Emily, you could, do you want to kill the screen so we can kind of see each other?
And everyone now can unmute themselves if they have a question.
Emily, would you want to perhaps, for people who are technologically illiterate like myself, explain a little bit about how the virtual service project is going to work?
So later on in the Can you hear me okay?
Now we can.
Okay, later on in the afternoon, you'll have the opportunity to attend the virtual service project. You'll see in your agenda that there is a link for a Zoom room. Now that Zoom room is just for kind of socialization purposes. You can all pop in there and hang out and chit chat if you want to one another while you're doing service. Then I have the 3 service projects set up in a sense. One is actually set up. The first one is free rice. And if you go in there and you log on, I gave the login information for the free rice. So I've set up an actual New Jersey Kiwanis grouping for us to do this kind of together. And then, so we could all do free rice together if you want. And free rice is basically kind of like a linguistics quiz. They give you a word and ask you the definition of it. If you get it correct, you could do it in different languages too. So if you want to play around with some of your foreign languages, you may. And the company then calculates the rice and they give it to the countries that are in need. Bean 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 is a similar project. However, we do not have a group set up for that. So if you would like to do Bean 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 instead on your own, you're welcome to. And again, it's a similar linguistics tool where you go in and when you get the question right, it gives you virtual beans and the company takes those virtual beans and trades them in for money that they use for their donations for fundraising. Kyle, I did see your hand. I will get to you in 1 second. I think you were raising your hand. And then the third one is the transcription for the Smithsonian Institute. And this one's really neat, actually. I think I want to do it on my personal free time. But the Smithsonian has their website, and they have all these documents that need to be transcribed. And basically, you just go in and you look at the document. You may not even be able to read the handwriting, but you transcribe it as best you can, and you submit it. And then there's a team of reviewers that review the transcriptions. I just like the Smithsonian stuff because it's quirky, and most of you know me, I'm kind of a little quirky. So I hope that answers your question, Helene.
It does. Thank you.
Emily, is this the same code you're going to use all weekend? Because I never got the information. I don't know why, because I sent my money in right away. So I did find it. Frank sent it to me.
I'll forward it to you, Karen.
Yeah, is this what you're going to use though all weekend?
So in order to avoid what they call like Zoom bombing, at 10 a.m. this session is going to be closed. And then as you look down the agenda, there are more links for different sessions. So you'll click that and it will bring you to the next session. So basically this session is 1 hour. There are many different links. So it is not the same link for just the whole weekend, unfortunately.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, any other questions out there? I can't see all the mics at once because of the screen view, or like everybody's. So if you have it, just unmute yourself and speak up, I guess is probably the best way to do it.
Question here. Sure. Just curious, did anyone about the experience with virtual conf meetings and etc. Did everyone find that everyone had a great experience with your Zoom meetings since the pandemic?
I'm sorry. Could you repeat the question a little bit?
Sorry, I was trying to ask.
Did
everyone had a great experience with the virtual meetings since the pandemic started?
Well, all I can tell you is that most of our clubs are actually trying it. Even some of our clubs full of older people are actually trying Zoom or WebEx or some other virtual meeting. And people are actually being able to adapt to it. This is our first virtual convention that we're having, at least for Kiwanis. I know we had Circle K, or not Circle K, they have their convention, but Key Club went virtual too for their House of Delegates. And Sarah, do you want to maybe speak to how that went?
Yeah, definitely. I was digitally elected myself as district governor, and that whole process was extremely smooth. Honestly, we've been using Zoom for most of our platforms for New Jersey Key Club, and we also used Zoom for our regional training conferences that we just held in the spring and summer, and they had multiple workshops. Honestly, I think that people were really engaged in these sessions, especially because, say, for House of Delegates, everyone could be on at their own time and in whatever setting they would like, and they had a lot of time to listen to the candidates or the speeches that were presented, as well as the regional training conferences. They could attend the workshops that they would like in the comfort of their own home. So I think as long as you promote and make sure that the meeting has a specific agenda, like Ms. Scharf, she really did an amazing job with this virtual convention because everything has a schedule and that everyone is notified of it so that transparency is there. So as long as those two things are present when you hold a virtual convention, a virtual regional training conference, something of that sort, it'll run really smoothly. And I think people are willing to roll with the punches as it comes along. There were no complaints when technical difficulties happened because I feel like we all understand that and we all have personal experience with it. So that's just on my experience and New Jersey Key Club's experience. But Zoom has been a great platform, and I think a lot of members have really enjoyed reaching out to the district board and using in that capacity.
So I'm going to just say that like Zoom meetings have really worked out well in terms of bringing in people that wouldn't otherwise show up to meetings because of distance or other reasons. I did see Jerry's hand up earlier. Jerry, you have a question?
I just want to answer that. Livingston started the Zoom meetings, the very first meeting that we could not meet because of the pandemic. And we started having committee meetings on it, and it's really been very successful. We've had guests at most of our meetings, speakers. We were all amateurs. None of us knew what we were doing initially, but it just flowed right in. And we did get members that don't come out to regular meetings. What we miss is the hands-on work that we do frequently. Normally at our meetings, we'd be making sandwiches or something once a month. We can't do that now on Zoom. But
Okay. All right. I see Mark Esposito has his hand up. I don't know why, but Mark, you got something you want to?
I do, Gordon. Good morning, everyone. The question I have for everybody on the conference is, have you made a donation to the Kiwanis Children's Fund this year, or has your club? If you haven't, it's not too late.
Okay. Any other questions before we do it? Before we adjourn this session? Wait, I got to check out multiple screens at once to see if anyone's got anything.
Yeah. Jack
All right.
Wilson, Governor.
I'm sorry?
Jack Wilson.
Okay. Jack, speak up, please.
Rob, can you take him off mute? He's not doing it.
Meetings. Most of the club members attend. Tavistock did invite us back for patio meetings. We held one, but because of the distancing and not being the only ones on the patio, we had to terminate that because we couldn't conduct the business meeting because of the distance and the interference of others around us. We're now back to phone meetings, and we're going to try an outdoor meeting at a park or a nature trail. Thank you.
Oh, okay, thanks, Jack. I mean, we missed the very beginning of that, but I think we got the gist. And I will tell you, my own club, we just started meeting 2 weeks ago in the median strip of a highway. It's a little noisy. Anyway, with that, I think I'm going to, we've had our 10 minutes that we promised. So, Michael, I'd like to call you back up to do the benediction. If everyone could please mute.
Okay, great. Thank you, Governor Gordon. This is the Serenity Prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Thank you.
With that, I would like to adjourn the opening session of the 103rd New Jersey District of Kiwanis Convention.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Like I said, you guys can either stay on for a few minutes. If there's any additional questions, you can drop off, take a break. It's a sign. I know Zoom fatigue is a really big thing. So, I wanted to make sure that you guys have ample time to get up, stretch your legs. I know I have to call. Somebody called me, so I'm going to have to call them back, take a break, and go ahead and enter your workshop at 10 a.m.
I think Zoom fatigue is a really big deal for one person, and he's off already. So, thank you, Emily. That went spectacular.